Get off the rat wheel.
All right, you guys, we're about to go live. Actually, we are live, and we are doing a virtual grand opening today, so please stand by. All right, well, first off, I want to definitely give it right back to and shout out Denise for just being awesome in this business. I've definitely seen her grow in this business professionally, personally, being somebody who's very well respected out here in the West Coast. And in fact, if you guys aren't aware, she was recently promoted to a very prestigious position called National Director. And I'm going to explain what that is in a little bit. But that being said, Denise, you know, we're all so very proud of you. We're not exactly on the same team, but in this business, what I love about this opportunity is that we support each other. And so when she reached out a little bit earlier and asked if I would jump on this presentation, I just said, I'd love to, I'd be honored. So definitely huge kudos to you and all that you've achieved in this opportunity. So that being said, ladies and gents, what I want to do is I just kind of want to set the stage. I'm gonna play a very short clip. The two people you're gonna see in this clip, you're probably very, very familiar with them already. These are two very well-known doctors, and they're all over television. And the backdrop that I wanna give you before I click play is that I think we can all agree that timing and positioning are the keys to success. And when you look at wealth trends, you know, where people have made most of their money, typically it happens when there is a small window of time and people are able to put themselves in front of an opportunity. So when you're thinking about like wireless and when that became a big thing, like in the early 2000s, people jumped into that. And then you had something called, of course, the internet boom. That was a little bit earlier, but people got into that. Then you had long distance and people got in. And you know, whenever there are these wealth trends, there have been a small smidgen of us who've been able to get in and make a lot of money, but most of us just became consumers. I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't at least own an iPhone or an Android. You know, we're all using the internet, but we have to understand that whenever there's been new technology or new innovations, people have jumped in. And so what I'm about to share this evening, and I'm gonna start with this clip, it's really going to talk about something known as CBD. And if you guys aren't already familiar, it's not something, we're not going to tell you about how to get high. We're not going to talk about, you know, blowing your brains out in terms of marijuana. We're going to talk about the wealth trend and a lot of the benefits. And what I want to do is just kind of start off with this clip. It's done by Dr. Sanjay Gupta and Dr. Oz. And they're just talking about what CBD is. And then we're going to go ahead and kind of flip that, talk about the products, and then, of course, how we're able to make money in this business. And
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's medical correspondent, the chief one, and has reported on the latest research behind CBD. So, you know what, break this down for everybody. I'd like to take your thoughts on what it really is so people can get this into their heads.
Well, you think about the cannabis plant, marijuana, it's called cannabis. It really has lots of different ingredients, but two primary ones. One is THC. That's the stuff, that's the recreational drug. It's what gets people high, gives them that euphoria. And there's CBD, which is cannabidiol. It's something that doesn't cause a psychoactive component. It's believed to be a medicine. It's been used as a medicine in decades past, and it's getting this resurgence, as you just heard.
So just to be clear, we've talked about medical marijuana in the past. This is not that, right? CBD oil is being sold all over the place.
You take the plant and you can pull out certain components of it. So you're just, in this case, you're pulling out the CBD component and you're just using that. And therefore, you're not getting all those other effects that people often associate with marijuana.
Which is why I think 47 states so far have said we're okay with it. How is the medical community using CBD oil?
This is fascinating to me. I mean, if you would have asked this question 5 years ago, it would have basically been crickets. Nobody was really talking about it. Within the last 5 years, you had a medication that was sort of known colloquially as Charlotte's Web. It was for this little girl who had seizures that just could not be treated by all these different medicines she took. Her mom essentially started taking CBD herself in her kitchen sink and giving it to her daughter. That is what was known as Charlotte's Web. Within 5 years, it's gone from being that idea to now an FDA-approved drug in this country. That's fast. That's never really happened that quickly.
The government has approved a one CBD oil for one indication.
Yes, and this is from the plant. This isn't synthesized in some lab. This is CBD that's actually coming from the plant, from the botanical. So that's a big deal. You actually now have something that's been considered illegal at the federal level, also part of an FDA-approved drug. That's what we're dealing with in this country.
Can you guys wrap your heads around this? This is part of the disconnect, right? The federal government says it's not legal. 47 states say it is. Kids with seizures are being treated. But I mean,
and
that's
the
why
FDA says, yes, we'll approve it.
Yeah.
But still at the federal level, it's illegal. What is starting to gain more traction, I think, really is what's happening with opioids in this country. What they found, Dr. Oz, was that in several states that had approved CBD legislation, they saw their opioid prescriptions start to go down. So that's an area the medical community is really, really focused on.
As a neurosurgeon, you're good at this stuff. Explain to me how CBD actually affects the body.
Well, we have all these different receptors in our bodies to basically attract and to have these components activate. But because those receptors are everywhere in the body, you could get an impact just about anywhere.
Actually, let's show this to everybody, because I made a little model to demonstrate what Sanjay is saying. CBD produces so many effects throughout the body based on the fact it can bind to receptors in so many of our different organs, right? Places as far away as the intestinal tract and your arm and your spinal column up into your brain. And that's why people say it helps them alleviate pain, right? Maybe help with seizures. It's a pretty serious problem for a lot of folks. Anxiety, pretty common problem that we don't want to treat if we don't have to. Even withdrawal from medications, maybe even the opiates, as Sanjay mentioned. Okay. But think about that. People think it can do so many things because of the CBD oil that is in there. It's touching so many parts of our body. And I love your thought that we evolved as species because we had access to these natural plants, and they understandably can affect us.
That's right. And the receptors started to evolve in our body as well. We even started making our own form of CBD in our body. But sometimes it's not enough, just like other things aren't enough in our body, and that's why some people seem to get benefit.
So the question then becomes, kind of pause and just let you guys know, like, this is very serious stuff. It's been studied. In fact, that clip obviously was pre-pandemic, but that clip was actually released, I want to say, at the very beginning of 2019. And since then, CBD has exploded. And so now what I'm going to do is talk to you about what's going on in terms of how we've been able to go in and capitalize. And this is what Denise has decided to share with you this evening. The name of this particular product line, it happens to be Oxygen. So that's OXZGEN. And our tagline is Build Your Hempire. And simply what we are empowered to do is go out and share phenomenal, well-tested, and really a full range of CBD products. And number one, we're able to go ahead and share them with friends and family. And as we share them with friends and family, we earn a commission or a bonus on every product sold. But what's even more exciting is that for those who are open, for those who are looking for ways of generating some extra income, you can actually build a business around this to the point where you can begin to acquire income based on customers you never would have even met. But every 30 days, literally, you're getting direct deposits. And so that's something that, and I'll say this humbly, I've been able to do. Within about 5 years in this business, I was promoted to a position known as Senior Vice President. A lot of perks and benefits that have come along with that. But I would say the greatest benefit has been the very rich network that we now have. The fact that I've been actually empowered to have moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, which is something that I could have only dreamed about when I was working a 9-to-5 and just doing that exclusively. This business has given me so many additional options. And so that being said, just in terms of kind of rounding out the discussion on CBD, again, as Dr. Sanjay Gupta and Dr. Oz were explaining, there's this difference between marijuana and hemp. Now, on one side of the equation, you have the marijuana plant. It's high in an ingredient known as THC, and THC is the hallucinogen. That is the agent in the cannabis plant that actually makes you high. Marijuana tends to be very high in THC and low in CBD. Whereas on the flip side, hemp, which is like the cousin of marijuana, again, also from the cannabis plant, hemp is actually high in CBD and low in THC. And so again, what exactly is CBD and why are we talking about it? Again, CBD is one of over 400 compounds found in the hemp plant. And as you saw in that clip, many studies from Ivy League institutions, well-known schools of thought, they've shown benefits for things such as epilepsy, stress, pain, anxiety, depression, seizures, gout, so many things. And what it actually does is it actually helps create a balance in the human body. And speaking of that body, again, we have all of these systems. We have, of course, the nervous system, the gastrointestinal system. We have hormones, bones, muscles, metabolism. But of course, especially in this day and age, we're all dealing with this pandemic, we're all hearing about the immune system. The thing is, a lot of people aren't familiar with something called the endocannabinoid system. That is actually in our human body. So what that simply means is that whether we take CBD orally or we take it topically, it actually interacts with all of these systems in our body. It can actually create a balance. It helps calm inflammation, and it actually helps with all of the systems in our body. And you don't really just need me to tell you this. Many of us have already heard about CBD already. I think we're all familiar with people such as Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. They actually have their own CBD lines. But then, of course, you have Melissa McCarthy, Morgan Freeman, Jennifer Aniston, even Ice Cube, all huge advocates of CBD. In fact, I was listening to a Joe Rogan radio show not too long ago, and he spent the whole show going on a tangent about CBD. And I don't even think that's what the show is titled after. But the thing is, we have all of these well-known people who've come out, put their reputations on the line, and have really touted what CBD has done for them. We even have our own celebrity who actually has aligned himself just with oxygen. And that's none other than Juwan Howard. So if you're a sports fan, you probably know who he is already. He was the first NBA player to earn a $100 million contract, two-time NBA champion, played with LeBron. Now he's the head coach of the University of Michigan. And he says, look, oxygen, not just CBD. He said Oxygen offers an incredible line of CBD products that relieves daily aches and pains. And he says, look, take it from me, it works. He takes it personally. We all had the chance to meet him a couple of years ago. And I'm telling you, it means a lot when you have people in positions such as this who've aligned themselves with your brand. So the thing is, my favorite product, I'm gonna tell you my favorite product first. I'm gonna ask Denise what hers is, but my favorite product happens to be this one right here. And if you guys see my little window on the top of the screen, this is it. I love it. It's actually called Immune Boost. And you know, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. This product actually went into development about a year and a half ago. And before COVID was even a thought, no one knew it was going to be a pandemic. The scientists who work on behalf of Oxygen went into development for this product, and it's become one of our top sellers. It's the first of its kind. It's designed to protect your body against stress, bacteria, pollutants, poor diet, toxins, and yes, viruses. And the very ingredients that are in this product, and these include zinc, D3, holy basil, and S-acetyl L-glutathione. Many of these ingredients have actually been given to, for instance, the current US President, Donald Trump. When he was admitted into the hospital, one of the first cocktails that they gave him was loaded in zinc and vitamin D3, and probably some other things as well. But the thing is, we have this in our product. This happens to be my favorite, but what I want to do is I want to pause and give Denise the opportunity to share what her favorite product is as well. So Denise, are you there?
So I too have been taking this Immune Boost. I've been taking it, this is my 5th bottle, so it's 1 per day. So for the last 4 or 5 months now, I've been taking the Immune Boost because, as you know, I work at a church and a school, so we're the only school that is an in-person school, and there's 400 kids on campus. So since I'm around them, I want to make sure that I'm boosting my immune system. And when I don't feel good, I'll take an extra one at night. So the Immune Boost is really good. The other one is the Pain Freeze Roll-On. So when COVID hit, I couldn't go to the gym anymore, so I started doing in-home exercises, and I hurt my rotor cuff to the point where when I was sleeping at night, it was waking me up, and I'm a pretty sound sleeper, and so I thought, man, it's the middle of the night, what did I do? So I shook it up, took the cap off, and I rolled it across my shoulder in the front, and to my surprise, I was able to go back to sleep. So, you know, I had a birthday yesterday, right? So now sometimes I feel like aches and pains where I didn't feel them before. So this is what I go to. I use this for pain.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And there's literally a story to go along with every product. There are people from all different walks of life who take these products, and they really work. They really, really work. And so thank you so much for sharing that, Denise. And just to kind of go through our product line, you know, we have, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, a complete line of health and wellness products. So when it comes to CBD, we got it all. We have your oil tinctures, where basically these are droppers that you would take, and you would take these orally. You would actually drop a full vial underneath your tongue. You would hold it there for a few seconds, and then you would swallow it. On the flip side, you also have these tablets. We have the soft gel tablets. We have regular capsules. Either way, you take these every single day. And this is actually just your overall wellness checkup. You do this every single day just like you would a vitamin. All right? And it actually makes sure that your body is in balance. All right? In addition to that, we have something called a nano tincture. So this is a new technology that only Oxygen has. It actually adds up to, or allows up to 5 to 10 times the absorption. I understand we have some medical folks on this presentation as well. So in terms of absorption and bioavailability, that's also very important when you're taking medication. It's one thing when you feel the effects 2 to 3 weeks out. It's another thing if you feel the effects almost immediately. And that's what this product does. So it has this patented triple nano emulsion technology that's incorporated in it. It's a really awesome product, and literally you spray it underneath your tongue, you feel the effects, you almost feel a jolt almost immediately. Great product. On top of that, of course, we have many folks who are familiar with CBD from the recreational side. We have something for them as well. We have gummies. So in case they're like, you know what, oil tinctures, they're not very fun, you know, capsules, blah, but gummies, you know, add some sugar, give it to me, and I could still get my CBD. You know, this is another top selling product as well. I can't keep gummies on me because literally I have a few folks who don't live too far away, even in my apartment building, they're always trying to buy some more gummies off me. So great product there. And then we also have CBD mints. These are attuned to like an Altoid, very, very strong, but it's a great way to get a little bit of your daily dose of CBD as well. We also have CBD coffee and tea. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure we all at least know somebody who has to have at least coffee or tea every single day. Some of us know people who have it more than once a day, and some of us are actually that person. Either way, we have many different flavors of coffee and tea. We have passion fruit, green tea. We even have a hemp protein tea, as well as a tea called Go Baby, because it actually helps you go. When I say go, I mean it's a cleansing tea, okay? On top of that, we have hazelnut, Colombian, and French vanilla coffee as well. Again, another great way to ingest your CBD. We also have sleep support products. So just like we have our regular gummies, we also have sleep support gummies. Here's one thing that I've understood. When a lot of times people are thinking about CBD, they attribute it to helping with anxiety. It does. They attribute it to helping them lower their stress. It does that. But it doesn't necessarily help you sleep on its own. You need a little something extra. So in our gummies, for instance, the gummies actually are infused with melatonin and also green apple, berry, lime. They have these different flavors. It really helps. But that extra melatonin really helps. And in the sleep support spray, we also have valerian root. So these are all substances that do help you go to sleep. And we also have a sleepy tea as well. And then, of course, how did we get started in CBD? This is kind of where we started. We started with topicals. And our most popular product to date happens to be the Intense Relief Rub. I actually was at the post office today because I'm constantly putting this in the mail. I'm sampling it out to people because they can't get enough of it. I don't know how many times I've had a knee problem or a back problem or a neck problem, sometimes all in one day. I'll put some of this topical stuff on and literally within a couple of minutes, the pain is gone. Same thing for our triple strength pain cream known as 3 Extreme. If the pain is really bad, that's what you use. Or we also have something called Pretty Darn Quick. If you just want something to keep in your pocket, it's a small bottle, but this is something that Juwan Howard, our former NBA player and brand ambassador, this is something he calls his secret weapon. Whenever he has a small pain or ache, he sprays it on and he's able to keep going. That's why it's called PDQ, because it stands for Pretty Darn Quick. And just like what Denise was talking about earlier, I'm sure some of you guys are like, what's that special product that Denise was talking about? This is one of our brand new products. It's called Pain Freeze. And I think a lot of us are familiar with something called BioFreeze. It's a roll-on, it freezes the pain, it kind of numbs it. But this is actually infused with CBD as well. It literally melts the pain away. And so for those those very serious injuries, you happen to fall, something pretty bad, use this Pain Freeze roll-on and it really helps. We actually have a couple in the business. They live in South Carolina and they have a young daughter. I think she's about 7 or 8. And she had a pretty bad fall last week. And this was like the perfect time for them to actually use this product on their daughter. And within a minute, all the tears dried up and she was running around again, all right? And this was after using this particular product, all right? And then we also have a skincare line. So I don't know about you guys, I'm trying to get rid of the bags under my eyes. I'm trying to look a little bit younger. This is a great product for that. I actually did a trade show, and at this trade show, pre-pandemic, I actually put some of this stuff under one eye and I left the other eye as is. And I just went around with my camera and I was asking everybody, which eye looks younger? And everybody pointed to the right eye right away, all right? So great product, definitely works. And we also have skincare moisturizers as well. And then last but not least, like I said, we have a full product line. We have what we call our holistic line. And that consists of these 3 products. We have a body butter, we have a charcoal face and scrub mask, and we also have a Revive and Rejuvenate massage oil. These are probably one of my favorites to sell. And the reason why is because I promise you, there's so many of us who just want to feel better, especially in this pandemic. It's a stress-filled atmosphere. All 3 of these products are phenomenal. I will, for instance, send the Revive and Rejuvenate oil to massage therapists. Literally, they're going in and they're placing their orders right away because they're like, this stuff is great, all right? So great products, great items, but now what I want to do is actually shift into, before I go ahead and shift into the money, we also have pet products as well. I think we can all agree that our furry friends, they have the same issues that we do. They get anxiety, they have joint pain. Many of our animals are getting up there in age, all right? And I actually have a 13-year-old cat, his name is Chad, and he loves the CBD oil tinctures, all right? I drip some in his food, he loves the taste, and it calms him down. It makes him feel relaxed. If he happens to have pains, or if he, maybe he just threw up a hairball and he's feeling a little bit raw, that really helps him. For many of our dog friends, all right? They can have the oil, or they can also have the dog treats. They're peanut butter flavored. As you guys probably know, dogs love peanut butter, and they definitely love this product. And then there's also a 2-in-1 pet shampoo and conditioner. And then lastly, we also have weight and glucose management products. So especially since we're on the dawn of 2021, who out there knows somebody at least who's looking to lose some weight, all right? Some of them might be sitting on our own seat right now, okay? So that being said, I already mentioned the Go Baby Healthy Cleanse Tea. We also have glucose support and weight management products, including Captivita. we actually just released an Immune Boost Plus product. So it's very similar to this, but it's actually infused with stuff that actually helps with gut health, okay? So you have all these great products, helps you from the inside and out, and it can actually help you lose weight as well in the process. So what I want to do, and then we also have a healthy challenge, and it can kind of help you get into shape. So if you're looking for some good exercise routines, we actually have some trained personal trainers in this business. Whether you choose to or choose not to involve yourself in the business, you can actually utilize this product and follow along with some very fun workouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift into the money. And the thing is, we all know about professions and industries such as the identity theft protection industry, or the NBA, or radio and telemedicine. What do all these have in common? These are multi-billion-dollar industries, all right? We all watch the NBA. We're familiar with the radio. We know about telemedicine, especially nowadays. But the thing is, what dwarfs all of those industries is CBD. Rolling Stone magazine actually stated that the CBD market will hit $22 billion within the next couple of years, all right? In fact, just about a year away, this will be a 22 billion plus industry. And so simply what we're doing tonight is, for those who are interested, to be able to partner with Denise and actually launch themselves into this phenomenal industry. And so the thing is, what we simply show you how to do is one of two things. We keep this business very simple. Number one, we show you how to go out and acquire customers. This becomes your customer base, all right? And then number two is we show you how to build a team. And it's very simple. You don't need to know 1 million people to get a good customer base. You don't need to know 100 million people to have a great team. You just do a few and then you replicate that. So for instance, one of the first goals that we have is to acquire something called a customer point. So every product and service that we have, including this Immune Boost, is given a point value. Let's just say this is like your 2-point shot, okay? This is 2 points. Maybe you sell 3 of them, so guess what? You're at 6 points, all right? And so on and so forth. What we want to show you how to do is, in your first 30 days, we want you to aim for the sky, all right? We want you to aim for at least 25 customer points, because if you do that and you hold, theoretically, those are all the points that you need to get in this business. Just get to 25 customer points and hold that. And then in your first 30 days, we're going to help you acquire 5 business partners on your team. Just 5. Not 5 million, not 50 million, just 5. If you do that in your first 30 days, the company is going to direct deposit $1,000 in your bank account. All right? But even if you didn't do that, let's just say you got 4 partners and 20 points, it's $600. 3 and 15, it's $400. Or 2 and 12 points, that's still $250. All right? Even if it took you 60 days to do it, you still get half the money. So the thing is, we keep it very, very simple, but it gets even better than that because we get paid in multiple ways. Another thing that we get paid on is something called residual income. It's also known as passive income. So I know we have some business-minded folks on this webinar. One of the best books I ever read was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was by Robert Kiyosaki. And that gentleman actually said, look, you definitely want to build a business that's going to afford you passive residual income. It's the same way, landlords make their money when they have tenants. It's the same way people who invest in stocks are able to reap passive income by having an investment. In fact, there was one of the world's richest people at the time named J. Paul Getty. He said, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people rather than 100% of my own efforts. So here's what that means. Let's say you have 5 people on your team. Remember that 5 that we talked about? And let's say each of those 5, let's say they each got 10 customers, 10 people just getting products. And let's say this is just based on this nano product right here. Let's say they got nothing else, just the nano. In that example, on average, your residual override would be $1.50. That means if you introduced Paul, all right here, let's say he got his 10 customers, on average that'd be about $1.50. Let's say this duplicated over these 5 people. That's $75 every single month. As they're paying for the product, you're getting paid, and that's just an override. You didn't personally get the customer. That's not going to make you rich, but if it's coming in every single month, who wouldn't be happy about that, all right? But the thing is, your team is not just going to stay at 5. You're going to have some people who introduce a lot of people into the business. Some not so much, but let's just say on average, your team now has 25 people. Same example, each person getting 10 customers with that $1.50 override. That's now $375 a month. Again, not going to make you wealthy, but it can start to change some things. $375 extra every single month. That's more than most people receive in a pay raise. So that's a pretty good amount of money. And then over time, it starts to snowball. Pretty soon, people are joining your team that you never even would have met. And so one of the objections that I had when I first saw this business was, I don't know 3,000 people. The beauty is you don't have to. As long as you can introduce 5 and they introduce their network, pretty soon it grows, and all of that is your network. So in this example, as you move down, the bigger your team, the bigger the money. And we actually have people doing this in this business today. All right? And on top of that, we also get something called monthly team bonuses. And basically, this is a bonus based on production in your team every single month. I'll give you a personal example. On our team, we are nearing some very, very good significant bonuses. And at this position at Senior Vice President where we are today, you know, this money is very, very real, especially if this is in addition to all the other money that you're earning in this business. So everything from an executive trainer all the way up to Platinum Senior Vice President, you could earn this money. In fact, I already mentioned it before. Congratulations to Denise. She's actually a national director, all right? So this is the extra money she's able to earn every single month based on the growth of her team, all right? So it's very, very real. And again, when you're promoted, the beauty about this business is that it's cumulative. So when you're a national director like Denise is, she's also still an executive director and an executive trainer. So that means she's earning up to this amount of money, but she could also earn this plus that, all right? So that's why at the platinum position, you could earn an extra $25,000 every single month based on the production of your team. So very, very lucrative. So I already mentioned at least 5 different ways that we get paid. We actually get paid 9 different ways. We have a quick start bonus, earned position bonus, customer acquisition bonus, team bonus, mentorship and customer club bonuses, monthly residual commissions on all team referred customers and all personal referred customers. What I love about that is that means that you don't have to do all the work, all right? You could just do a little bit, but as long as your team does a little bit, that can equate to a lot, all right? And then we also have retail bounties on every product that's sold. So one of the things that I don't want to gloss over this, I know trinkets and bling, they aren't everything, but I loved getting to the position of Senior Vice President. That's what Denise is getting prepared for as well. When you get to this position, the company, they put their money where their mouth is. First off, they give you a car allowance. So whether you want to go out and get a brand new car, or you want to get a used car, or you don't want to get another car, you just want to continue to keep the car that you have, the company will now say, okay, well, you know what? You're at an executive position. We're going to give you executive benefits. And they actually give you a car allowance up to $700 a month at the Senior Vice President position. Every year, especially once COVID is lifted, the shelter in place is lifted, you're eligible for annual vacation. When we hit this position, the very first vacation we went on was to Cabo San Lucas. It was phenomenal. They pay for everything. You leave your wallet at home. They give you a bracelet, and it's drinks and food, drinks and food, drinks and food. It was such a great time, and you do it on the company's dime. They even included room service, okay? So I love that. And then on top of that, you get a profit sharing pool. Every January, what they do is they take a small percentage of every customer, they put it into a pot. We see the pot growing every month. And then at the end of the year, starting in January, they actually distribute what's in that pot. And actually, Denise is part of that pot. That's actually eligible for everybody at national director and above. So congrats to Denise and myself. We'll be getting a piece of that pot. But it gets even better, because when you get promoted again, you keep all of the senior vice president benefits that I mentioned, but you now become what's called a platinum senior vice president. So you get all those benefits, you still keep that car payment, but they enhance the car payment. So now you're talking up to $1,200 a month toward your car, whether it's new or your existing car. And you also get additional profit pool shares. So you get a bigger stake in company profits. You also get some bling. So you either can get a Super Bowl style ring, or you get a diamond studded pendant. All right, so it's very, very great, very lucrative, but it gets even better. Several years ago, we had so many people hitting this position, and everybody wanted to know, well, what's next? And so the corporate staff, they created this final pinnacle position, which is called diamond. And we actually have 2 diamonds in the company today. What happens is when you reach this position, the company actually pays out a $250,000 bonus in the form of a check. All right? So it's almost like Publishers Clearinghouse, and you're walking across the stage with this giant check. But it's a check, it's real money, and then on top of that, they're going to give you an additional $5,000 a month for life. This is what we call a lifestyle allowance, and you get the maximum pot of platinum of profit pool shares. Can't say that five times fast. All right, but it's a very lucrative position, and of course, the folks who are in this position, there are multiple 7-figure earners or 8-figure earners in this business. So that being said, guys, look, that's not all. I already mentioned a lot of the great products that we have, but this company has been around for almost 20 years. This is not a fly-by-night. We're not going away tomorrow. We've been here for a while. We're going to keep on trucking. And the reason why is because we are also rooted in phenomenal services. We have our own streaming television service known as TV. It's TEEVEE, over 200 channels, and it allows people to cut their cable cord. We have credit repair. Me personally, I messed up my credit in 2011 right before getting started in this business. And due to this credit repair service, in large part, I was able to grow my credit score by over 300 points. All right. On top of that, we also have coffee and tea known as Montevita that does not include the CBD. And we also allow people to save money on their gas in this state of California and on gas and electricity in many, many other states, particularly on the East Coast, but also in states like Texas. All right. So this is phenomenal. It's a huge opportunity. And the idea is that when you get started, you want to choose which bundle you're going to get started with. A very popular bundle is the $999 bundle. This actually has the greatest amount of value because it contains nearly $2,000 worth of product. All right. It gives you 48 customer points, so it puts you well over the threshold of what you'll ever need. You also become instantly qualified, and you get a $25 qualifying bonus. Think of that as a rebate. It's almost like as soon as you pay it, you hit that, then the company is going to deposit that $25 back right into your bank account. All right, but let's say that is a little much for you. Another option is, before I get into the other option, we also want to make sure that you're aware that every single month we have something called Platinum Discount Network. It is an investment as well. This contains your website, your front office, and your back office where you can track your business. But what's great about this is once you recruit 5 individuals and they get their Platinum Discount Network, they waive your fee. You never have to pay it again as long as you have at least 5 people on what we call PDN. All right, it's $49.95 a month, and I'm telling you, it comes with extra products, okay? And Denise will actually get back with you to see if this is still a promotion in terms of giving you extra products, but it's something that really helps you in your business. But let's say you were looking at the $9.99 bundle, you're like, it might be a little much. You have another option. Your other option is one of our $4.99 bundles, all right? This is our most popular bundle set, either the Chairman's Choice bundle right here on the left or the Essential Quick Start bundle on the right. Both phenomenal choices. The main difference, if you're trying to compare the two, is for folks who are looking to lose weight and who are looking for products that help with that, maybe you have friends and family who are trying to do the same thing, I would go with the Chairman's Choice bundle, because you have your Blast Performance, which helps in terms of being a pre and post workout. You have your Oxy Trim, you have the Go Baby. These things help you in terms of your weight loss, and it can help you sample it out to that population. Versus the Essential Quick Start bundle, I like that just for everyday products and services. And what you have in there is, of course, you have your coffee, you also have your Go Baby tea, but then you have a lot more topical products. But either way, both are great options. And then you have your $249 bundle. So if you're on a budget, but you want to get started, definitely a great choice to go ahead and get started with the $249 bundle. You still get a great amount of products, and you're instantly qualified either way. But that's why we always say it's always good to bundle up, all right? So that being said, I already mentioned this PDN stimulus. This is definitely very important. Make sure when you do go ahead and invest in this business that you do it with the Platinum Discount Network, because it is an essential tool to help you grow your business. So the last thing I want to say, this is our last slide, but basically register your new business today. The beauty of this business is that it is a tax deduction. A lot of great tools that we get in this business. We get brochures, we get cool t-shirts, we get swag. I mean, they really make sure that they give us everything that we need to become successful. And the only thing that you need to do is just get in the car and drive. So all that being said, I definitely want to thank all of you for your time today. And I want to give it back up to National Director Denise. Thank you so much for all that you continue to do in this business and for impacting so many people out here on the West Coast and around the United States. So that being said, that is my time, and I am going to give it back up to Denise. Go ahead and take it away.